So the keen-eyed amongst you have noticed that I have ASTROTURF at home, and sometimes I don't tell people this and sometimes I do. I think there's a shame around ASTROTURF, particularly as a designer. Now, I've had this ASTROTURF for 17 years, and it was before this kind of movement towards more sustainable gardens. It seems crazy to think that only 17 years ago we were really not thinking about the environment as much as we are now. I felt like we had limited choice when we did this garden initially, because we literally are on bedrock here. So it was either have no green, as in artificial turf, or kind of just pave it. And so I figured at the time, artificial turf was not something I wanted to do, but real lawn just wasn't an option unless we were going to dig out the rock, bring in soil, put in some drainage. It wasn't financially a viable option, and for many people that's not. And so I wanted to talk to you about what I've been thinking with this space. Now, 17 years on, there's nothing wrong with this ASTROTURF, so my plan is not to remove it, because I think really that would be the most unsustainable thing now to do. You can recycle it at certain facilities. It's not easy and it's not really widely available, and it's broken down into other things. So although you're recycling it, it's still going through a process. It's still got to go on a lorry and be taken somewhere and all of that. So that's not particularly sustainable. So I've decided that leaving it in situ is the most sustainable thing to do until it gets to the point where it's so bad, then I can reuse it for something else. It'll maybe line the shed floor, or, you know, go in between allotments or something like that. But the most sustainable thing to do for me is to leave it here in situ. And what I've noticed over the years is that weeds have become a slight problem. And I think that's because over time, bits and pieces just kind of seed into it. You get bits of dust and soil that you drop, and that makes this kind of layer. And it's almost building up its own soil layer just below the blades. So I'm going to enhance that by adding in some sand, and also maybe some limestone. And by doing that, I'm going to kind of create this lovely little seed bed. And then I'm going to sow various seeds intentionally into it. So rather than it being viewed as a lawn, it will be a new planting space. And I think that's the most sustainable thing that I can do with this. I would love to hear your thoughts if you've tried this, or if you think I should do something different.